Bro, I am happy because today I finally finished Year 9 English. Thank fuck, because that class was bogus, man. No more poems, no more I done my GCSE crash out crap being thrown around like it was a sacred prophecy. And no more sitting there while somebody asks what a cloudy sky symbolises, when the obvious answer is that it symbolises a cloudy fucking sky. No more of that, because I am done. And to make it even better, I am not studying it for GCSE in Year 10. So that is it. No more English. Take that. I want this moment treated like a royal announcement, because I've escaped something that felt less like a subject and more like a long, slow hostage situation with highlighters. Every English lesson started the same way. The bell went, everyone dragged themselves in looking as alive as abandoned houseplants, and then we got handed a worksheet with more questions than a police interview. We would read 3 lines of a poem and somehow be expected to discover a hidden universe inside a semicolon. It was like being handed a teaspoon and told to dig to the centre of the earth before lunch. What does the writer mean by the colour blue? Maybe they mean blue. Maybe the curtain is blue because curtains could be blue. Maybe the author did not spend 6 months planning a secret emotional metaphor for a piece of fabric. But apparently that answer is too logical for English class. If you do not say the curtain represents grief, capitalism, childhood, the loss of innocence, and the entire human condition, you get marked down like you committed a literary crime. I swear, English sometimes made me feel like a detective whose only evidence was a crumpled worksheet and a teacher saying, "Look deeper." Deeper into what? The paper? Am I supposed to dig through the desk and locate Shakespeare himself underneath it, holding the answer key? And Shakespeare, bloody Shakespeare, was everywhere. I know he wrote important plays, I know people respect him, fair enough. But sitting in Year 9 trying to decode a bloke from hundreds of years ago was like trying to read a group chat written by ghosts. Half the words sound like spells, the other half sound like someone lost a bet with a dictionary, and everyone acts shocked when the class cannot instantly connect it to modern life. I would be there staring at the page reading a sentence that looked as if it had been assembled by a wizard with bad handwriting, or someone said, "This is actually really relatable." Relatable to who? A medieval king having a breakdown in a castle? I don't have a castle. I have a bus pass, a half-dead phone battery, and homework due at 8 in the morning. The poetry units were even worse. Poems are like those tiny packets of crisps that somehow cost too much. Small, disappointing, and apparently hoarding more than they actually contain. We would get a poem that was 12 lines long and then spend 3 lessons interrogating every word as if it was a suspect. Why did the poet use a comma? Maybe because sentences need commas? Why did they put the word cold near the end? Because it was cold. Not everything needs to become a dramatic story about isolation, trauma, a broken society, and the moon crying in the distance. Sometimes a poet sees rain, writes rain, and goes home. But no, we had to make colour-coded annotations until the page looked like a radioactive rainbow had exploded on it. My exercise book looked less like schoolwork and more like a crime scene run by stationery supplies. And then there were the essays. Holy shit, the essays. Nothing prepares you for the spiritual pain of being told to write 1,000 words about a book you haven't been trying not to think about for weeks. You open the document, type the title, stare at a blinking cursor for 20 minutes, and suddenly that tiny vertical line becomes your biggest enemy. It just sits there flashing at you like it knows you have no clue what to say. Then,
at 10:44 at night, you suddenly become an absolute machine, writing nonsense with the confidence of a politician. The author's use of darkness possibly suggests a broader sense of darkness. Brilliant. Give me 4 marks. I'm a genius. Except then you get a walk back and there was a comment saying, develop this point. Develop what point? I barely built it out of wet cardboard in the first place. The marking can feel like pure bullshit too. You can spend hours trying to make something sound thoughtful. Use every fancy word you know, put in quotations, explain the quotations, explain the explanation of the quotations, and still get told you needed more sophisticated vocabulary. So what am I supposed to write? The protagonist's melancholic existential displacement evokes a labyrinthine confluence of blah blah blah, or 14, not a Victorian lawyer possessed by a thesaurus. It was like being asked to cook a 5-course meal using only a spoon, a toaster, and the last crumbs from a cereal box. No wonder people ended up crash outing over GCSE phases. The class had us all speaking in code. Zoom in on this word. The writer presents. This suggests. Furthermore, however. Or for a while you start hearing it outside the classroom. Somebody says, I am tired, and your brain goes, the speaker's use of the adjective tired conveys a profound sense of exhaustion. Shut up, brain. Go outside. Touch grass.
The whole subject had this magical ability to turn simple things into a massive pile of complicated crap. A character pauses, that represents fear. A character walks, that represents ambition. A character drinks tea, that is obviously a critique of class division. I am convinced that if I wrote the dog ate a biscuit, somebody would say the dog symbolises industrialisation, the biscuit symbolises lost innocence, and the chewing represents the collapse of the British Empire. Please be serious. I know English can be useful. I know writing clearly matters. I know reading helps you understand people and ideas. I'm not saying burn every book and launch every dictionary into the sun. I'm just saying that for me, Year 9 English felt like being trapped in a maze where every exit was labelled explain your answer. I have learned enough about metaphors to know that this class was a metaphor for pain. And I've learned enough about similes to say it dragged on like a slow-loading school laptop on 1 bar of Wi-Fi. I have learned enough about persuasive writing to persuade myself that dropping it for GCSE is one of the best decisions I have ever made. So, massive respect to the people who love English, who enjoy the poems, who can see a quotation and instantly write a beautiful paragraph about it. You are stronger than me. You are built differently. You probably own more than one decent pen. But my journey ends here. I'm putting down the anthology, closing the exercise book and walking away like the main character leaving an explosion behind him. Except the explosion is made of loose worksheets, dried out highlighters and comments saying add more analysis. Year 10 can keep his options, his new timetable, his GCSE talk and its fresh start. I will take my no English life like it is the last seat on a packed bus. No more poems, no more random curtains with tragic backstories, no more pretending I care what a comma feels like. No more I done my GCSE crash out crap. I am free, I am finished, and I am celebrating like I've just escaped a haunted library. Take that, Year 9 English. You try to make me find hidden meaning in everything.
But the meaning of this moment is very simple. Thank fuck it is over.